that was my first experience say, oh wow, this is the hippie part of Morocco. I feel like healing vibes here. There are misconceptions about Morocco in Europe. I never felt unsafe one moment. It's not so crazy if you wake up at 10 a.m., you know what I mean? And Europe is like, oh my God, maybe you meet a friend and you're like, okay, yalla, let's go and have a coffee, you know, and we have to catch up. Habibi, come to Morocco. Hello everyone, my name is Nour and today we're here at O Podcast Studio in Morocco and we're gonna talk about the experience of living as a foreigner here in Agadir. Yalla. I think like my experience and my impression was a bit different in different parts of Morocco. I came to Morocco 2 years ago for the first time, and I was in Marrakesh, and it was very different than when I came in September in Essaouira for the first time, and then I moved here in Tamrat, Agadir, and I'd say my experience was very different. I feel like here in Tamrat, Agadir, people are just very calm, very open, very understanding, and just the vibes are. I feel like healing vibes here. I feel like there is like this energy of like calm and acceptance and peace and just more like connection with one person. So yeah, that was my first experience. Say, oh wow, this is the hippie part of Morocco. I feel like people are very just chill and allow you to be. So it was very nice to witness this difference. Yeah. Yes, I think I've always had a connection with Morocco. I grew up in Italy around North Africans, and Moroccans were always part of, my childhood. So I've always been interested in Morocco and this like mystic vibe that I always got from it. Yes, it was very nice to see this different view that majority of like Europeans have about Morocco and Moroccans and see how, culturally they are very open, very, very kind, very open to give and show about their own culture. Well, I think actually the Moroccans here are much more open and better, sorry, than the one in Europe, I think. So obviously there was some cultural shock, to be honest, but it was less than what I expected because I felt like specifically here in Tamrat and Agadir and Essaouira, these like coastal parts, people are very open. Like I feel like they're very used to like foreigners or just their energy is more like chill, So yeah, that's what I felt mostly. And about cultural shock, yes, there are some cultural shock, but there are no major cultural shocks. I'd say maybe one of them is that obviously you have to be more careful about what you're wearing. I'd say just in general. But apart from that, it's Mediterranean culture. So I lived in Egypt before. I have family from Egypt, and I think Egypt is much more conservative than Morocco. So when I came to Morocco, it was like something that I already witnessed, but next level kind of thing. So I think, yes, I was aware that I'm in a Muslim country and I'm aware about like costumes and cultures and everything. So it is also for me like interesting this to witness like another way of seeing life, a more like conservative, more like, faith aligned, towards like a religion. And it's a work in progress. I'm always learning some new things, obviously. And sometimes it might be like a new discovery. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know if what I'm wearing it's okay or not, or if I'm gonna insult some family or anything like that. But yes, it's just an ongoing discovery for me, and it's fun. It's fun. I think there were multiple moments where I felt deeply connected to life, just in general. I think what I love the most that makes me feel very connected is just observing people having a simple life. especially like, the farmers with their goats, the shop owner in their small shops, just enjoying like their time there. And for example, there is like this shop owner just next to my house. He has a small shop there, and he just put his Amazigh music, and I go there and he turns a bit up the music and he just dance there, and you just witness these moments. Like, he's not there with his phone, he's not there like doing anything, he just has his simple life, which is like trying to provide with his for his family, and it's just nice to witness. Tagine, I like couscous, I like rafissa.
Oh,
I really love rafissa. I love pastella, it's called, yeah.
so good.
It's so good. And, I spend the Ramadan here, so every day I was just eating so much and very local food. So it was just a great way to get to know the culture, like the food culture. And for me, as I'm Italian, it's so important, food. And yeah, Moroccans are not disappointing with food. It's very good. There is a deep culture when it comes to
It's
food.
really rich.
Yeah. And also, I think like you see these things that it's similar with Italian, like you have like specific time to eat, like then you have the tea time that you're gonna have it like with like biscuits, or like msimen with like, honey and these type of things for a certain time of a day. So yeah. Certainly, there are misconceptions about Morocco in Europe, so people might feel a bit anxious, especially like solo women. They might feel quite anxious to come here because, again, like there is a misrepresentation of Moroccans in Europe. I personally didn't. I was a bit anxious before coming here because I didn't know Morocco, but since I arrived, I never felt unsafe one moment. I never felt like anxious or like the idea that someone might steal my phone or like anything or like do something bad to me, which actually happens in majority of the cities in Europe. So for me, my experience was positive. I think also you need to know how to travel, by yourself and, and show attitude when it comes to it. I think with Moroccans, and again, I think Moroccans, they have very similar culture with Italians. Sometimes you just have to be strict, and not show any fear of saying, listen, just no, I don't want the taxi, no, don't bother me or anything like that. Just to show a bit like you're not a little baby lost around. But yeah, so far my experience was good. Creativity, freedom, and expression for me.
Wow.
Because I feel like I've been able to really connect to the simple things of life and not having like always the worry to do, which I always felt like in Europe, like you have to survive, And here I feel this energy of like calmness and peace that allows me to tune into my creativity, to tune in what I really want to do in life, what I really want to live my life. And sometimes the fact that also people like they take it much slower here, the life, at least in Tamrat, it allows you to chill, It's like, it's not so crazy if you wake up at 10 a.m., you know what I mean? And Europe is like, oh my God, like during like a weekday, you wake up at 10 a.m., like you're a loser, And then like here it's like, no, nothing is open, before like 10 or something. So this allows you to just, wow, I have time, I can slow down and everything is not about work, It's also about being kind of thing. So that's a very nice question. I'd love to be a bridge, between like Europe and here Morocco. I think I have a nice skill to adapt in the country where I'm living, and not perhaps not many people have that, and I'd like to be able to be a bridge between the people coming here and the locals as well. And currently, I'm working on building a community in Tamrat around like art and expression, which for me are very important as I'm an artist myself, and trying to really build like an art community in Tamrat and Agadir where people can come together and just express their art and be able to connect with their heart, because I think we're so disconnected with our self-expression because of just society, and we need heart, we need expression, and I think community it is a very important tool for growth, you know, and what I'm very grateful for in Tamrat, I found very much like a community. I feel like there is a potential of building a community, and because people they all come with the idea of slow down to really connect with themselves and
Express themselves
express
through their
themselves.
art.
Yes, or trying to find who they are. I feel like majority of people that I met in Tamrat, they are all in the same phase of like trying to figure out who they are, what they want to do in life, right?
Exactly.
And and that's nice because this energy is it's a collective energy that is coming all together, and it's like, wow, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one, you know, that still trying to figure out life, and I think that's the beauty also of it, you know, that you don't have everything clear, but it's a process, you know, and it's nice. Yes, I think I'm learning exactly to slow down from the moment you wake up in the morning and you don't feel the rush of having to work. And as we talked about before, like, don't feel guilty if one day you're waking up a bit later, you know, or simply just allowing yourself to rest and to enjoy like the small things of life, just like a meal, you know, or like a walk in the ocean, and witnessing local people doing that here. It just inspire you even more. You know, Moroccans are more for like chill, like take, you know, they we all joke about Moroccan times, you know, because like Moroccans are just late, they say, because why? Because they take more like time easily, you know, like lightly. Okay, if we're meant to meet at 3, it's not a problem if we'll meet at 3:30, you know. It's not nothing that is gonna affect us, you know. And in during those 30 minutes, many things can happen, you know. Maybe you meet a friend and you're like, okay, yalla, let's go and have a coffee, you know, and we have to catch up. That's okay. That's fine, you know. So I think this also like it's influencing me about like, yes, slowing down, take it more easy, you know. Life is not going anywhere. So this is for the people that are seeking for something more deep in life, that have understood that the values of life they are not necessarily what we've been taught, but they have to do with like small things of life. So I think for those people that are looking for more depth, more community, more value of the small things such as family, such as eating in a table full of people, such as being invited from strangers in their house just for the sake of sharing moments. I think this is, yes, this is my advice for the people that they are looking for more. They're looking for human connection, they're looking for nature connection, and they're looking for themselves, because I feel here in Morocco, everything is possible. You have the feeling that everything is possible because there is more time. There is simply more time that we forget in Western countries that we don't have, but we do have time. We do have time, and it's okay not to have everything clear, and just go with the flow and let life surprise you. And I think since I moved here, I just let life surprise me, and yeah, it's not been disappointing so far. So Habibi, come to Morocco, and yes, it's a place full of love, peace, and sun, and so much spirituality in their own different ways. And I'm very grateful to be here today, our podcast studio here with this beautiful team of Moroccan people, which are always welcoming and always make you feel like at home. And yes, I feel extremely grateful to be in this country and get to know the culture, the people, and the language as well. So thank you so much today, guys. This is a beautiful place, and yes, I'm very grateful.